we say part of the process is removing the old colonial systems, symbols that has been there symbolizing the power of white supremacy. And even though black people don't put nothing to symbols, but white people, symbols is very important and significant to a continuity of them history. Them use the symbols to remind you of things that took place in the past. Symbols don't teach you about history, but what it do, it helps you to not forget. It helps you to not forget what history is all about. So the moving of these symbols is very significant and important to how we move forward. And even though it might look simple, but it's really not a simple thing, because it wasn't a simple thing that put them there. It was a mindset that put them there. A mindset, a group of people mindset that put these symbols there, recognizing people who allowed them to perpetuate racism and white supremacy against a group of people. And we're not talking about only black people, we're talking about Native Americans, we're talking about the Aboriginal people. Really and truly, symbols, very important. This is Mutabaruka. We want to present to you a wholesome kind of level of consciousness right now. So, subscribe and tell your friend them. This is Mutabaruka.
You are listening to the Blackradar YouTube channel.
I am my ancestor. My ancestor is me. So we don't need no more heroes. We have had enough heroes. We are the ones we've been waiting for. When people say we are waiting for a Messiah, or we are waiting for a prophet, we are the prophets and we are the Messiahs. Well, I want to spend a little time and talk about symbols and the importance and relevance of symbols, not only to community, nations, man in general. Symbols, one of the greatest symbols to a country is the flag. The flag of a nation represents what we call the unity, if there's any, of the nation. When people go to war, when nations go to war, there's a man that is carrying a flag. And if him get shot down, somebody take up his flag and walk with it. And the thing is that you don't usually make the flag touch the ground. It's almost sacrilegious to make your flag touch the ground. But your flag is very important. That's a great symbol. We have coat of arms. We have all sorts of symbols in society. We have statues that represents people of the past that has contributed to whatsoever. So when you say a statue of, for instance, Leopold, the people them who put that statue there recognize that this man represents something great in the time when he was living and in the country that he come from. Yet still, other people don't recognize that symbol of something significant that should be there. And we see a great thing happen, that them tear down the statue of Leopold in Belgium. Leopold, King Leopold, who is one of the greatest murderers against African people. 10 million, it is said, Leopold killed for robber. And a lot of people don't know the main ingredients in your cell phone, the main ingredients in your laptop, computer, comes from the Congo. Coltan them call it. That is a mineral coming from the Congo. But symbolism in what we call allegories. Allegory is like a story told, but the things that is portrayed in the story is not necessarily that. It's almost like a parable you're talking, but they use symbols to represent certain situations at certain time. For instance, when you hear about Adam and Eve, Adam and Eve is not a literal story. There was no man named Adam and no woman named Eve. That is a representation of a story told. When you hear about Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty is not two eggs sitting upon a wall, but it represents a certain story. But the story is being masked by the writer. So the writer knows what he's saying, but he uses symbols to represent the truth of the story, which is very important to the argument that I'm trying to project. We see them move the Confederate are trying to move all the Confederate representations in America. And if you know who the Confederates were, they were fighting from the South, fighting. It's white people fight white people. White people fighting white people over land that is not theirs. Can you believe that? The Confederates was a group of white people trying to control America before it was the United States of America. And what happened, they have some people that they believe represents white supremacy, including certain presidents. Because most of these presidents who people now uphold had slaves. They had slaves. So now we see that they're moving some of the statues them in America. And this fire that is being lit all over the place, represents a turning point in how history has been told to African people and who tell the story. Because a lot of the stories that we are told was not written by us. It was written by Europeans through their own eye and through their own spectacle. And we were never taught in school certain history about ourselves. What we learned in school was how white people want the world to see them and how the white people want to use their spectacle as the lens to work to the world and world history. So the Governor General is under scrutiny now in Jamaica. We have always been talking about removing the Governor General because that is a symbol. The Governor General is a symbol of a history that is not lovely, because the Governor General represents the crown of England that has perpetuated the biggest atrocity against African people in this part of the world. And even though they claim that we are independent, we still hold on to certain symbols. Now why I say the Governor General is under fire? Because there is a insignia. You know, sometimes you look on a man chest and you see him about a whole heap of things. Either button or emblem with all other things on him. Near him regala, him have a regala across him from right to left. You see the regala upon him right shoulder and it over there so, upon him waist there so, and then upon him chest, I'm heart. You see him have a whole heap of things. Well, it has been not discovered because it was there all the while. It's not that we never see it. That one of the emblems, one of the insignia on the Governor General's clothes when he is in his regalas and all this thing is a symbol of Saint Michael with his feet. Can we just coming out of foot now and neck, you know? And this is just weird that this should have come up now, but everything is working according to how things supposed to work. This insignia of Michael the Archangel, obviously is a white angel, with him foot in the neck of a black, I will call it angel because I have a wing too, but obviously it's an evil angel, it's a devil. And Michael have him foot in the black person or the black angel neck. That is a symbol of white supremacy at its highest level. Because these symbols have always represented what white people say in a film understanding of how the world is and how other people is. But we'll come back to it. Yeah, so we're talking about symbols and how symbols relate to people and why people put symbol where they put it. You know, if you go to Europe, almost every crevice and corner have a statue or an emblem or even a stone that represent something of the past in the history of the people them who put it there. Now, we come to this juncture here now and we are said to the Governor General, because it's not, we're not attacking the person. We're not attacking the person. We're attacking the Governor General. Because there have been many Governor Generals. Many Governor Generals. And we know that this Governor General is not the first Governor General to wear that insignia. Now that we have come to the realization that this is a part of Britain's symbol of power over black people, given that the picture that we're looking at is a white man standing in the neck of a black man who laid down on the ground like George Floyd. We don't want the Governor General, this government going to tell you now, say we have to wait at his pleasure. Because that is how the matter will say, well, he will look into it. I don't know what is there to look into. I don't know why well, I guess he have to go contact in bigger bars them in England and say, boy, Queenie, the nigga them don't find out. The nigga them don't find out something, you know, we have to figure out what we're going to do about it. It cannot be that in England, them pulling down all these statues representing white supremacy. A lot of the universities is now apologizing for their part that they have played in slavery. The University of Glasgow decided that they are going to compensate or what we call give reparation to the University of the West Indies for the part they played. I think them say £20 million or something like that. It cannot be that you have some people out there now, some niggas going to say they know that they did it all the white never do nothing, so white are going to do something now. Okay. Where you don't know will hurt you. Where you don't know, don't tell me about where you don't know now hurt you. Where you don't know will hurt you. And we are saying the more symbols like these that we see, is the more we must attack the symbols. Because it represents a certain thinking and a certain train of thought. That as an angel is white, and the world's part, the devil is black. And the angel have him foot in the devil, the black man neck, like George Floyd. So we are saying, we don't want the Governor General, after it bring to my attention now, come tell me say, him going to look into it. Well, we are saying, we'll look into it because we know how it feel. Because him going to never know say there. Because him just like a puppet to the colonial masters them in England. Them just give it for you as part of him power. That is what it is. It is these insignias is part of your power. Yeah, man. When a man give you an insignia, you know, you have about 5, 6 insignia. It's part of power. You feel like yes, you're somebody. You have on all these things. You represent the queen and whosoever. It's like a sergeant major. You know, so he's a sergeant major. So you move up. So you have something that represents the sergeant major, which is an insignia. You understand? So even we are saying now, we catch them. We find out. We find out and we are trying to shed our past colonial history. And part of the colonial history is the Governor General. We were called for the removal of the Governor General. Remember, Portia did say she had the Queen of Jamaica. Portia said she had the Queen of Jamaica. And she was going to move the Governor General. And here with them I tell her, them said, boy, it will cost too much. And this, it's not costing nothing. It's not costing nothing. Because see, like how them put Buster statue and Manly statue downtown there. And them have Queen Victoria statue. Queen Victoria statue there is a long time. They must move the name of Victoria up here. A long time we are called that. Move the name. Because Marcus Garvey is the most popular man come through that pier. When them deport him and bring him forward to Jamaica, it's true that pier come Victoria Pier. A whole heap of people don't know that Victoria Pier was named after Queen Victoria. That same woman who sent a whole heap of chick go Africa to go get African people and turn them in a slave. All the name them for the who asked a youth to go to school, who St. Mary parish name after, or Portland, or St. Elizabeth, or St. Anne, Trelawney. It's people who did leave names out. But white people, in order to have a continuity in them lie and them supremacy over people, when them colonize people, them put the name. Where do you think New York come from? New York is just a York in England. It's just a York. And most of the places where you see in America was named by the British who got wickedly thief in the name of the American them land. You don't have no name of no American. I when I say American, I mean Native American. Big. Manhattan is an island. And it was sold for $25. One of the biggest real estate scam ever. $25. And we are saying symbols represent a people. Symbols represent history. Symbols don't teach about history. But it helps you to know that there are certain things that happen in history that you can claim as something. Claim it. And we are saying we find out. We find out say there's a symbol that represent our colonial past that we don't need to have. A governor general and all the mascot things and when we're upon him chest that represent Queen Elizabeth the First, Victoria, all of the Queen them, King James. So, you're the biggest part right now. You're the biggest part right now, which is that now why aggravate some niggers. And we are saying niggers and both slave because that is what they are. Hear it now. One of the greatest symbols that represent white supremacy. For how much years now? I can't have a count. One of the greatest symbols that represent white supremacy and have the biggest grip over the minds of black people is the white Jesus. The white Jesus. Put away the statue of Victoria. Put away the statue of Cecil Rhodes. I will soon come to the Cecil Rhodes argument, but put away the statue of Cecil Rhodes. Put away any statue. The statue of Jesus is the most. That statue represents the heights of white supremacy in the minds of black people. So when I take them down, now that we are tiptoe and I come to a realization. We are tiptoe. You know, I mean, the slave mill a turn, but it's still a turn still. Now that we realize it, because I feel vindicated, that's a vindictive. I feel vindicated, you know. I tell you, I feel vindicated, you know why? Because all the way we are going right now, Rasta, did I tell you about it? And I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. All the things them, what you say happening at now. Rasta come up with this thing and say, look here, we don't have to eat good food. We don't have to eat good food. We don't have to really deal with health. We don't have to deal with natural things. Now we are talking about black consciousness and what white supremacy has done to us. White supremacy, the leader of white supremacy, is not an individual person that is sitting on the earth today, but it's a symbol that has been planted anywhere you go. That the white man, they will have to tell you, must put up that picture. You voluntarily go buy a picture in the blood of the lamb, wash yourself in that blood, and every time you close your eyes, how much time we say that in the past 30 years? I can't have a count of time. Every time you close your eye, no care how conscious you is, no care how black you is, no care how whatever you is, and you pray to Jesus. Is a white man in your head. And then you have some Christians that say, well, the color don't matter. If the color don't matter, how is it that him always white? The people them who it a talk about, the color of those people, is not the color of where you have by your picture, by your thing. That man look like a hippie coming from the 60s. Like a hippie where him no start take drugs yet. From California in a Berkeley and them place there. Black people, you know, we do an experiment. We do an experiment one time, you know. We go, I think it's a school in Germany, you know. A school in Germany. We go to a school in Germany and we are talking to some youth. I will tell them, say, must draw a picture of Jesus. And all of them draw somebody will look like them. I will look like the picture where me know represent Jesus. We go to school in a, what school the name again? A Magatia, what are them school? In a sense, up that hill there, anyway. We ask you them the same thing. And the same picture where the German youth them draw, it's the same picture. And these youth, it's not, them not exposed to all like Kingston and foreign, you know. Them not exposed to foreign, them not exposed to Kingston. And some country youth in a high school that draw a picture of Jesus. And it's the same picture where the youth them in a Germany draw as Jesus. That is how deep the thing is. Because there's no youth in a Jamaica, in a private school or primary school. If you put up two pictures over there, so I say, which one of them look more like Jesus? If you could have drawn a black man a little more, if not going to look on it. That is how deep the thing is. So, may I ask now, I ask even the people we are talking about black life, this and black life, that, and Yeah, them find a newfound love now. Them blackness. Yeah, everybody, them matter what the American them know listen to me. Who not ready to take down the white Jesus? That is what I ask. Who not ready to take down the white Jesus off of the wall and throw it on some fire? Just build up a big fire in front of the White House and throw all of them picture there in the fire and forget about it, because image matters. Image. And image is very important to the scheme of things. We have to know that. We have to know how image reflect upon people. That's why I don't give credence when a man tell me say God make man in his own image. I ask the question, so what image he make the cow in now? Or the goat? Or the pig? What was he looking at to make the goat? What was he looking at to make the cow? These are those things that people come up with to perpetuate a certain thing like that you can't find the truth for yourself. You can't find the truth for yourself continuously when you follow these little things and start to use their understanding, their logics to define yourself. That is what you're doing. Because if you come up with something and I say, where you get that from? And they say, no, yeah, but from myself, I get it, myself. And I'm going to tell you, say, but that no fat, that no fit the logic. Who for logics it don't fit? Who fit? Whose logics it fit? When I tell you, say, Emperor Selassie is the Almighty, and you say, no. What you say no based up off? You say no based up off of the logic that was put in your head. You say this is impossible, it's ridiculous. Rastaman, you're idiot. Mutabaruka, me think it have more sense than that. But whose logic is who giving you that logic? You know how much millions are God in India? Millions. The population of India must be about 1 billion people. A man over here said, your neighbor going to worship the same God. And the next neighbor over there said, now worship the same God. But in the Western world, we define everything through the eyes of white people. White people. But here we are saying now. Every day you carry bucket well, one day the bucket bottom must drop out. Today for you, tomorrow for me. And all you see the madness and stupidity of black people are going like them are idiot. It must change. Must change. It now goes to fair by you know. It must change. It's how much picture me see now, how much video people send me and show me how white people are cuss white people. And I said this and that and that. It's like them never knows it to go on. I'm saying weird. Then you feel say, we just see that say what will I say all the while for years. You see, it's too vindictive. Black people not looking to kill white people, you know. Black people don't, as a matter of fact, black people just want to have justice and peace in them community and them neighborhood without fear or favor. They want to move. But we know and we understand, according to what John Henry Clark said, powerful people will never educate powerless people in what it means to take the power away from them. Because the aim of powerful people is to stay powerful by any means necessary. And we see some bossy slave, jacket and tie niggers around the place. And no care where you see a go on. Them still have a hold on where them a hold on. Because it is so ingrained and embedded within them. Me I tell you. But you are, it now goes all the while. You push a dog around for so long. One day that dog will turn and bite you. And we look like say it's biting time, you know. Really and truly. Biting time. Because one little incident is like a ripple. You ever throw a stone per water tap yet? Or when you're a picnic, you stand up on the seashore and you turn sideways and skim the stone on the top of the water. And you just see just make some circle, go. So I saw it go. Where is our icons? Where is our symbols of defiance, of justice? There's so much, but yet still there's so little symbols. We go down a Heroes Park. Did you know that Heroes Park was one called George VI Memorial Park? I don't know if they buried it. They call it George VI Memorial Park. Now it go through another one named Race Course, because they used to have a race down there. And now it is which part them choose to put our icons, people who we can relate to, like Marcus Garvey, like Miss Louise Bennett, Paul Bogle, Nanny, you know, the list goes on. Why should we not take down those symbols of injustice? Why should we not take down those symbols that is there to remind a group of people that we have the power and not you. Why is it? Will we see there's a new party? There's a new party that is forming in Jamaica to run against the two parties that are there now. And then the two parties is made up of mostly the clergy, pastors and all these people. Then the majority of people in it is part of the clergy. Are these people ready and willing to take down the white Jesus out of them church? Are they willing? These church people, do you know that the Pope, the ruler of the Western world as it relates to them spiritual guidance, the vicar of Christ, infallible, do you know that him have a black Mary in the Vatican where him bow down to and say Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us is known that. Did you know that the Roman Catholic Church say Mary is the Mother of God? Holy Mary, Mother of God. It is unbelievable that you could have even figure that out. I can't figure it out. But the Roman Catholic Church see Mary as the Mother of God. And guess what? She is. Because that is an ancient Egyptian philosophy. Isis, Horus, and Osiris is an ancient Isis philosophy. That Isis is the mother of Horus, which represents today them so-called Jesus. So those stories that you see planted in the Bible, it's not original stories. It's stories from other stories that come from other stories, which when them take it become a lie. Story again. So when the man say, Holy Mary, Mother of God, and other people say, Mary have no, God have no mother. But in them the deep recesses of his mind, him know where he must say. Because of him giving Jesus. It's him giving Jesus. The concept of Jesus that we have today, at least that Christians have today, have nothing to do with a man who lived 2,000 years ago. And we keep teaching the children, and it can't stop. The cycle of white supremacy cannot stop. If the parents, them who come after the parents, them who come maintain that same thinking and extend it to them children continuously. And some of them know says lie too, but them grow up, come hear them mother say it and them grandmother say it. According to the story, we're gone by the morning, can't go good evening. No go so. We're gone by the morning, you fix it in the afternoon and work it out in the evening. It just say go. We say we have to work out these things, because it will show how, because logically we're not supposed to be there as about black people, as African people, we weren't supposed to be there. With all the things them show that way. We still survive. We survive under the most gruesome thing, the transatlantic slave trade. When we come on here, we survive the gruesome of whipping, lashing, all sort of thing. Anywhere the Europeans go, them give it hell. Not only we need now, we are talking about the Aboriginal them and we are talking about the Native American. Now they are planning to give the John Wayne Airport in California a new name. Because I don't know how much you know that. John Wayne, which is a big actor, mostly cowboy show, 100 and movie them same act, was a serious racist. He makes some statement against the Native American them that you will never believe. Some man and say, well, the Native American them have too much land, where them do with so much land, and them want land. And they come to the people them. They come to the people them. And take away the land. Now John Wayne is under scrutiny. John Wayne, that great cowboy, tall cowboy man, where always shoot people and kill Indian. Him say, why them want so much land? And them want land. Now you see now, and them have the land now, and the Native American now have to move one side, up a reservation or something like a creepy corner, or they way up in the north near Canada and I get either commit suicide. The biggest suicide rate is amongst Native American them. Some of them move through the crack and go get but them go casinos and get big. But from my Manhattan, I never see a family of Native Americans that work in Manhattan. And Manhattan was for them own. Manhattan was theirs. The statue of Liberty, it come from France. It's France, it come from. It's not American something. It's France. And then put it there. Representing now liberty and justice. Well, which part of liberty and justice there? When now we see white man announcers, and what them call the presenters upon TV, I cry. White woman. I don't fuck me about it so much of them I cry. I look on the news and I see white woman are busting at tears when them start to talk about the George thing and talk about the history of black people in America. Tears come at them eyes at me and say, wow, welcome to the club, man. I mean, I will welcome them to the club neither. You know, you look on it now and say, but wait, do you mean say, thanks, give thanks to who make iPhone? A Bill Gates? Or a job? A job billing. Him dead now, don't it? We give thanks to that brother there, we give thanks to job because you know. You see that thing there, that little thing what they call iPhone or stuff. You can't believe everyone. Because you see that picture was sinking at the world head, that little picture there, with the man neck under the man knee, and the mother say, mother, when we want the mother, like him a cry for him mother to right, the big man a ball for him mother, you know. Eh? The man lay down underneath the man knee, and I say, him can't breathe. Him can't breathe, and the man just tighten it on him neck. Me look at the picture upon the insignia upon the Governor General. And me look at the white angel having foot over upon the black angel neck. You can just imagine the black angel down there and say, I mean him George Floyd, you know, but it's a different era. Do you know that in the time to come and see me, you're going to see me when I come back, you know, you're going to do me the same thing when I come back. How the hell? We are crying. The Native Americans, the Aboriginal people, anywhere, all over the world, when you look at Indigenous people, them feel the hands and the feet and the whipping and the lashing and the pain and the agony of the same group of people. And them just stand up and people say, what am I idiot? They make the white man stand up and them that them why them not fight back. We did fight back, we still fighting back. The way you call this now, fight back this now. But it never come like how people didn't expect it to come. You know, see, they never come like how you expect it to come. That's why you know, say you can't plan a revolution. You know, see,
you are listening
revolution
to the
come from
BlackRadar
all
YouTube
people
channel.
together,
Subscribe
feel both a situation and decide, say, enough is enough. And then you have other people now on the edge of the periphery of the whole thing now, and say, well, right now, enough is enough, you know. Me not black, you know, but boy, I tell you, that picture, they really sinking and made, you know. Yeah. Mr. Job, anyway, you know, man, L.I. every man. Trust me. Me not declare you honorary black. Like when they used to call me honorary white in South Africa. Yeah? Because, look where I'm going, man. They make that hole, that choking hole, not George Floyd, no, the other one where the man choking anywhere. That choking hole is now illegal, you know. They make that illegal for police to do that now, you know. That is a new thing now, like legislating, you know. Say, police can't do that again in America. Can't do it again. Just that hole. They are defunding the police. That means they must say too much money go to the police force. They must channel the money somewhere else. It's a thing. It's a thing I go on. But may I come back to it. Never say no. How much of these Black Lives Matters people, how much Jamaican who are run up and down and say, yes, the insignia man, the white man upon the white man neck and this and that and yeah, too much. Yeah, we have to take down Queen Victoria's statue and all them something there. How much are we not ready to take down the image of Jesus? How much are we not? How much are we not ready to take it down? Because the Governor General, the Prime Minister, Peter Phillips, and the people who follow them, all of them, scared, afraid, because them know that them don't have nothing to replace it with. Them don't have nothing to replace that image with, because they are so embedded in it. Yet, I was brave enough as a people who was despised and rejected in a society here. We was brave enough to replace that picture replace it with a man out of Africa will look like we and say, yes, at him we are praised. Instead of that image there, we don't have nothing to do with we. And we them look upon we as idiot and stupid. And them going still look upon we as idiot and stupid. Them not going to stop. But who care? Who care? Remember them say it's last the dead? And them say, yes. Remember me used to the pan bus and say, yes, Rasta, you got dead, what you going to do now? Look there. Rasta get no far. And my question to them, look how long we say Jesus dead and we still praise him and I worship him. And I say, him soon come. No, Jesus not come back nowhere. It's a joke business. We are saying that non-apologetically, and we boldly say that. I mean, just I say, it is a great feeling to know the things where you say over and over, and people are saying, well, I'm not changing the way I tell them things. Look how long you tell them things and this and that. Eh? Look how long you tell them things and not happen. That is what you think. Who doesn't know, say, the day that come when people, not just black people now, all different kind of people would have go around Liverpool and draw down statue. Go around in a South Africa and draw down statue. Go down in a where the place the name? In a South and draw down some of them Confederate statue. And police not trouble them. Who doesn't know, say, them days that come? But what? You see, when you have something and you know, say, well, where you deal with is a just cause, you don't give up on the cause, man. You continue. Because we realize, look how many people dead for this. Look how much black people come and show you certain things and dead. Who not get assassinated, get just dead. But the struggle continue. Because it don't finish until Africans free. And we know freedom when we see it, you know. It's not something we go on forever and ever, so let it be. We know freedom when we see it. We're not idiots, we're not stupid. Even though some of us go like we're stupid. And some of us is stupid. But we know.
With Mutabaruka, we are listening to our...
And just deal with certain things and certain issues that maybe scare some people, but we have to say it. And just like how now we say, white people, hey, watch a man, if you have a white friend, and you can't sit down and talk about certain issues like the black experience, you really, I know your friend, you know. No. It means him kind of in a female world and him not care about where him people them, the Europe people them. And a Jew sit down with you and him not afraid to talk about where the German do to film people them. That him all have museum, Holocaust museum in Washington, where remind you of the atrocities that was done to the Jews. We are the only group of people, anytime we start talking about what was done to our ancestors, you hear people say, "Cho, that's a long time thing." Where you talk about them long time thing, pa? Long time thing, pa? It still happen now, in a different form and different level. And what did happen then? We have not been, it is not recognized that if you do some people something like that, you're supposed to apologize over a period of time. You're the queen say, in answer to the Rastafari bridging them, the queen say, when slavery was in effect, it wasn't illegal. Not about Queen Elizabeth II said that, you know. When slavery was in effect, it wasn't illegal. And you cannot now charge people for something 100 to 400 years ago that wasn't illegal and blame and put it on them now for deal with it. Yet still, England, riches, and to be precise, come off at Jamaica, the richest man in Europe, him named Beckford, him did have slave plantation and cane field in a Jamaica, yeah. And him export him wealth them to England and become the richest man in England. Beckford, the slave owner in Jamaica. Google him and you will see what I talk about to those are the younger people. Liverpool was a port for Africans coming from this part of the world. Liverpool. Most of the places that was built in Liverpool was built at the hands of slave labor. So when you hear a man talk about, you know, it gone a long time. a whole heap of the bank them that exist right now, and a whole heap of the company them that exist right now. It's been paid compensation for lost labor. The slave owners them in the plantation, they must give them £20 million for money, as money for loss of labor. The Africans them got nothing. And a whole heap of the companies them know that exist, and the universities in America and all this place was on the backs of African people. So don't talk about, just like when the Prime Minister of England come here, when we talk about this long time thing and we have to move on. Of course we're moving on, so we are moving on. But black people find themselves in a situation where every time we move, it's like something on the back and we shut a hole back and I say, where you go, where you go, where you go. And then we're mind not stable. We're mind not stable. Then wash our brains and wash out all the things that we're supposed to make it meaningful and purposeful for fight and struggle for freedom and liberation. Because when them doing that slavery with our fathers and mothers, we know and we understand what's going on. So we the field slaves. We the field slaves. If master house are burned down, we're not going to say we house are burned down. As a matter of fact, we're going to go for some dry cane and throw up on the fire. So we're not going to go on like say this and go on like say that. We come here so now and we say, Marcus Garvey say Africa for Africans, those at home and those abroad. And Marcus Garvey dead in England. Dead in England from stroke. Left Jamaica and when he turned back, when them asked him about joke, him said, no, I'm in Jamaica, you know. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, Marcus Garvey said about Jamaica. Because I realize say, they have some bossy slave on somewhere. They're not ready, and I'm still not ready. The system of government where I work with you, so it's not ready to absorb the African mind. It's not, and the African mind is the liberating element that is missing when we talk about a revolution, which is change. Because that is what revolution means, change. And we come to grips with the whole understanding of self. Or we see ourselves as a people. Because we have been so dehumanized that we behave to one another like animals. Even when we have fun, it looks like we are creatures of a lesser God. But it's human beings. Not care what them say. Them say they are 3/5 human. Have you ever listened to all of? When I say all, I mean all of the American national anthem, Star Spangled Banner. Google it and get a copy of it and read it. Because it was not written as a national anthem. It was written by a long time man, I don't remember when name, Keys or something, who did have slaves, who never liked slaves, who did a fight. He never write it for anthem, write it as a poem. And it became about 100 odd years after them adapt it as them anthem, Star Spangled Banner. Read it, and you will see what it say about black people in that thing. You ever hear about Amazing Grace? Sing it to yourself and see if you're not call yourself that save a wretch like you. The man never talk, the man who write it is a white man, he never talk about the whole people. He write a poem for himself. The whole heap of Africans when take from Africa and put on him ship and him start to get converted. He must sing about slave, or Amazing Grace, how sweet that save a wretch like me. He was a slave, he was profiting half our African people. And he must console himself with a poem and say, slave a wretch like him. That's why you must not read things and look at it from the viewpoint of the reader. You have to look at the viewpoint of the person who write it or who experience it. Because most black people say they read the Bible. They read the Bible not off of the people them who experience what is said, but from you, the point of view of you who reading it. So when you hear the Bible say, there are many that shall not see death. We are saying, they don't know some people now go see death before Jesus come. It's not so it's Jesus to up and talk to the people them in front of him. And then say there are many here, meaning say at the time when the man said there was many there, that will not see death until the Son of Man appear. We who come 2,000 years after, I read it, and I say, there are many here that shall not see death until the Son of Man come. It's your business. Because even him say that the Son of Man never come. 2,000 after them still not come. And that is written as gospel in the Bible. So we can't say how the crisscross come, the crisscross, miscross, and all sorts of crosses, and become crosses. And we don't know if we decipher all of these symbolic little intricacies that them teach you, because most of the people understand, say, people write things and people write things. Who believe in Batman? Batman is a comic story by DC Comics, but them put him in a real place. The place where them put Batman exists. The place where them put Batman exists. There is a Gotham City. It exists. So why you feel the man them can't write about somebody in a place where it exists and him don't exist? It's joke business. It's totally joke business. It's a joke anyway. We're going to come forward. We're going to come forward because it needs to be addressed. And we're going to keep saying it over and over. Just like we say everything else over and over. We don't afraid to repeat itself. Talking about decolonization, alien images. And that's the topic we're upon. You know, images and, you know, symbols. There's a book named Man and His Symbols by a man named Joseph Campbell. And I recommend you read a book there. Man and His Symbols by Joseph Campbell. It man, I show you how symbols is used to reflect times, things, and places. We don't understand that. You don't see a statue, but the statue represents something that is subliminal in your consciousness. Yes, subliminal. And we don't understand that. That people put things in a certain places and it have a subliminal message that it projects in your brains. You know, you have a discipline in China named feng shui. And feng shui talk about the positioning of things in your house, your bed and your dining table and all them things there. How you position it in your house. And the relationship between how you feel in your house and how you react to things surrounding yourself. Feng shui, you can go Google that too. Because we don't understand that. We get caught up in our food, clothes and shelter so much that the other things them that is suppressing way. Because I see them food and clothes and shelter the way we are searching for. We could not get it if we didn't understand other things. If we didn't understand other things, we could not get it. But certain things it put in front of we behind we, and it subtly seep into our consciousness, in our brains. And we get lost, confused. Symbols, the stoplight, symbol, control you. It tell you when to stop, when to get ready to move, and when to move. Just a stoplight, just 3 colors. It's much better than if a man is up and say, go on. So you say you can't hear him. There's a time when police just stand up in the middle of the road with a big white glove on the man and give direction. And it create confusion. You want to see that play out, go to Nigeria. Go to Nigeria and Lagos and you see how that play out. When a policeman stand up in the middle of the road and a direct 4 lane of traffic come from east side. And when he tells some must move and he give them the way to go. Sometimes the traffic don't let us buck up. And the other one them can't move. That means stoplight too. But the stoplight sometimes is more precise than the police in the middle of the road. That is symbols. Symbols is when you go on the highway and you see a little triangle on a yellow sign and with a little thing a roll down the sign. And you know say, oh, okay, the material is a rock liable for roll off the hill up here so. It don't say nothing, you know, it don't say nothing at all. It just show you something. It just show you. Symbol is when you show put an arrow and you point the arrow in the direction where the person must go and they must know so where the arrow show them where to go. Symbols, very important. That means if you can't talk, you have to see because you can't blind and not drive. So you see. And you can't read, but you see. And those symbols represent a universal language. The symbols represent a universal language. And that is really where we are working with us now. We are working when the symbols become an enemy. We are working when the symbols become, it is used to elevate one race of people over the next. That is what we are talking about. Or we use symbols to maintain a certain power over people. People used to fight when you are picking with certain things. People put a sheet over themselves and say a duppy has a duppy see, and they never say duppy yet, but them say they might create a symbol of a duppy. And duppy is supposed to be, you can't see it. But you still man in a conniving and sneaking way for fighting children. We draw a duppy and put a sheet over them. And then put the sheet over the duppy, them say so duppy stay. And that imprint and embedded in the child mind. So this is how somebody who dead look. White sheet. And everybody sound woo, and everybody gets scared when they hear that sound there. But not so. But man create those things. It's symbolism. Symbolism control people. Symbolism it's subliminal in your psyche. That years after you think about it, years after it come in your DNA and your grandmother and your great grandmother and you come with the same thinking. And it flourishes as part of them power base, them power structure, where them use to control people. Powerful people will never educate powerless people in what it means to take the power away from them. Because the aim of powerful people is to stay powerful by any means necessary. That is Johnny McClark. You have a man named Steve Biko. Him say, the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. How much time you can repeat that? How much time you can repeat that? Many times I will not stop repeating. Yeah, it's like a stock record. Because we don't have nothing new to say now. Because all we are saying now, we may say the same thing for how much years now, but it's a different way. Because this new song make, not new song no make. And the same words you might use and turn it in a different way. How much love song you can make now? Every love song where represent a certain aspect of love between a man and a woman have been made already. You can't make another new song. But you can use the same concept and turn it and twist it around. And make it sound like it's a new thing. But it's not a new thing. It sounds new to the ears who now listen. You know which time you hear tune and I say, but wait, it's the same subject. Every subject is a subject. You can't say nothing new. You can't say nothing new again. Everything that was said has been said before. But it's just that it not stop travel. The first word will start will echo in the cosmos. It not stop travel. If it did stop travel, it wouldn't exist again. And if it didn't stop travel, you couldn't come say the same thing. Because when it travel, it don't stop. And it connect. It connect. That's why everybody recognize at stoplight. The man who did originate is a black man originate a stoplight. Black man originate that. And a man that did a long time, but guess what? The stoplight still control the world. It control how traffic move on street and lanes and highways and byways. The stoplight control you. And you can be arrested if you don't obey it. And you can dead too if you don't obey it. That is how it goes. So don't underestimate man and his symbols. Don't underestimate it. It's something that we need to figure out and understand how the powerful use it to maintain power continuously. You know, we see them release a man out of prison today. We're there for 50 years. Him is now 70. I think him is now 71. 50 years him in there and he never got caught and get charged. Even though I'm saying they commit murder. Now, when you really look on him something like that, say, is where I go on. Our man can get lost in the system and is waiting on the pleasure of the Governor General. I am saying to the DPP that they must release all of those people who is in prison. That them said they're there for 30 years without trial. And 50 years without trial. Watch much more in there. Enough more in there. Can you imagine? I hear the man talk today and I say, wow. The man there in a prison for 50 years and them not try him. Them get lost in the system. And I think back and I look upon it and I say, but me couldn't face that. Me couldn't face that. Because you know in yourself. That alone is a mad you. That alone is a mad you. But there's no way the people them in there over 30 years there. Because you have them say 15 more people in there over 30 years. And you have man in there longer than 50 years. What kind of system that? And we see the government decide to them to start another, what them call it, state of emergency in the place. And what the thing say, them did have a plan. We think say them did have a plan, but them not have no plan. Them just say them have plan. Them have plan to come tell you about them go build up this and build up that in your community and give a job and all them something there. Them just have said that. Them just have said that. Them have some crook and ginal continuously.
The informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.